Well, I see him as a father. He was extremely focused on the family and extremely focused on work. That's about it. That's all of his life, I think. He has a very wide knowledge and interest in history, but that basically comes from his childhood and the way he was brought up. Well, I actually grew up in the office literally, because the office is above the private home, and we would come home from school and just walk into the office and say hello and grab something to eat sometimes, or just look and see what everybody's doing. And it was very natural and very simple like that. And my father made a point of taking us with him on projects. He was proud of his work and he wanted to share it with us. And there were also great opportunities to go on trips and see places that you wouldn't normally be able to go to. So we definitely spent a lot of time in the projects. But I actually grew up not thinking I would be an architect. I thought I'd be a doctor. Maybe wanting to be a doctor was just trying not to be an architect, I don't know.
I remember Shlomo as, even when I was a student, and I was definitely one of many students, that foreign students that went through the office, that he was equally kind and attentive to a student or to a colleague or to a worker. We're actually very fortunate that we have such a wonderful setup in the office, that we're not just working together, but that we're really a family, and that from my perspective, I would say the great advantage was that before we got married, that I worked with your father, and that I established a working relationship with him well before I became part of the family. And I think that was part of the success of both growing and then becoming a partner in the office, but also becoming a part of the family. And I remember times that I would go with Shlomo on trips, and he would run so fast that I would have to run after him. But he's there as a person who gives us advice and who still supports us on a personal and emotional level.
Listen, I came into the office later, much later. I came into the office when my father was starting to actually get ill, and his involvement in the office was done. I had my own practice, and we decided that it doesn't make sense anymore to have these two entities, and we merged my much smaller practice into the bigger and more successful office. The way the office worked always from the very beginning was that there was a healthy mix of architects and landscape architects working together on these projects of various size, various types, and so on and so forth. And we actually, now that we are running the office, or continuing the same tradition and the same method of work and the same philosophy of how to approach all of these different types of projects together. So we have this team now with its different sensibilities and different backgrounds and different ways of looking at things, also in the principal level and also throughout the office.